Please guide us and bless our endeavors today. Please help guide our decisions and let them be in the best interest of our students and staff. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any issues of deletions to the agenda? Okay, move on, item 2A, approval of Head Start Council meeting agenda items. Updated C, COLA and QI application. Ms. Angel here?
Ms. Angel is not here. She is at one of the centers. It's currently on her way here.
I have a motion by Mr. Forte, second by Mr. Stelling. Vote. Just wondered if you vote.
Yes.
Motion passed. Vote yes?
Yeah.
Motion passed. Item 2B, consider and or recommend action with regard to sales tax supplements for 2023 and 2024. Ms. Broussard.
Based on the sales tax collections that we had for this year, we are recommending to distribute the same amount. However, I do have one change to the schedule. We finally got guidance on the stipend that the state is giving. It's $2,000 for professionals and $1,000 for paraprofessionals, and the money should be distributed to districts at the end of August. So my recommendation for sales tax is to push the September sales tax back to October and distribute the state stipend in September. And I'll have a formal recommendation for you in September because it has to be approved by the board. So I'll have something on the September agenda to formally,
Repeat that one more time. You're gonna do the state one?
the state one in September and then the September sales tax one in October. So the only change we need to make to tonight's item is changing September to October on that schedule that I gave you in your packet. But the amount would be equivalent to what we distributed this year, and then I would do like I did this year as the year progresses. If they continue to go up, bring that back to you for recommendations.
Motion to accept staff's recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Abraham, second by Mr. Forte. Let's vote. Motion passed. Item 2C, consider and or recommend action with regard to 2023-24 budget. Ms. Broussard.
Well, the budget has a $1.2 million deficit for 23-24, and that is largely made up of the $800,000 increase of the property insurance and the increase in the group health insurance that we went up on the premiums. I would expect that we may have a decrease in the salaries that are budgeted due to a loss of students and possibly not having to fill as many teacher slots as we filled this year. So my recommendation is to accept it with the deficit because we have a surplus, with the intentions of looking at areas throughout the year to cut so that we don't end up in the same position next year.
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Forte, second by Mr. Abraham. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to bring something up, Mr. Blake. Mr. Fusey, when Mr. Fusey and I got on board, and this is just a recommendation, and I spoke with Superintendent Willsbach, and I was looking at the maintenance budget right here, how much it was allocated and everything. When we first got on board, that very first meeting, our agenda item for the maintenance, we had to approve everything, right? If you remember. Now, we don't even see anything, kind of like what we see with personnel. I would like us to at least see what's the projects going on it doesn't necessarily have to get approval from us or anything like that, but at least, because, let's say,
You know where your money's going.
not only that, let's say the city's getting everything, well, why is the city getting everything? Or if a certain area, we have to constantly fix that area, well, why are we fixing it? Is that individual breaking it or whatever, you know? So that way we can at least see what's going on, where our money's at and everything. So that would be a recommendation for us in our information packet, just for future references and everything. And other than that, that's all I have.
So information items only.
Yes,
For are you?
for maintenance,
for
like,
maintenance?
yeah.
Like larger projects or projects over a certain amount or,
no,
or,
when we got on board, we had to, it was, and that pretty much made our meeting go till 1:30 in the morning too, because board members would start going back and forth, and it just kept on and on. And then finally, we just said we referred it to the maintenance committee, but we also wanted to see the items, but the superintendent at that time just kind of, I think she got upset with us because we did that.
My concern is if we were to start looking at every single item, maybe if we have a threshold of a type of item that we're looking at or an amount, and if we start looking at, let's say it's a faucet or something that's broken and maintenance has to deal with it or whatever.
Right, I see what you
And
mean.
that list would get very, very long, but if it's an amount, if we're at a certain amount and we say, hey, this needs to,
Over 1,000.
just for attention, bring it to the board so that they can see that, hey, this costs X, Y, Z dollars. We want to bring it to your attention that it needs to be repaired, maybe 1,000 and over.
Yeah.
and then we can start with there, and then if we
Yeah,
see
and if we
that's
see
too
it-
cumbersome, then we can,
If it's
Go up.
too much, then we can, like you said, especially the way things cost nowadays.
I noticed that every year for the past 3 years, I know we was going to deficit of like $1 million, but did we ever look into our insurance and see if, we never hardly use our flood insurance. We're paying entirely too much for flood insurance. We already self-insured with some of our property, our buses and our insurance for health. Is that a way possible? If we are already spending more than $1 million a year on repairs, destruction from hurricanes or weather, on our property. It looked like we might be better off self-insured our property, because we're paying over $1 million, $2 million just property insurance, and we sure ain't reaping the benefits.
Yeah, because when that last storm hit, I know like in the city, we had to basically pay everything ourselves.
Exactly.
And it wasn't,
It's
it made no sense to go by the
That
insurance.
flood insurance is a waste. We have never used it. We just dish out money.
I didn't recommend
Well,
purchasing it when we did, because it wasn't necessary.
Right.
I mean, that was a
That's
board.
another thing,
Well,
well, like what we had pointed out, at Burbridge High School, the most expensive thing was their greenhouse. And I think it was shocking to everybody, what I'm saying? And that's including the main facility.
You might want to just take a look at it,
So probably next
to see
year.
if it's feasible.
We have a meeting with Mark Romero tomorrow morning, so maybe we can
He had it.
Mr. Delkin,
ask him for different,
In regards to scrutinizing budgets and maintenance, and I brought this up before, is that, of course, I've just been here a short period of time since the bond budget has been approved, the money set aside and allocated for HVAC, roofing, this, that. There is no additional bond money for, and the major contention right now is HVAC. So, that being said, a lot of what you'll see right now is, when we get into HVAC problems and when these units are being changed out, and then with my lack of, technicians internally, and me having to go out and outsource the labor and vendors to take care of the HVAC systems in the school, what you're going to see in that budget is that a lion's share of what you're dealing with in the maintenance budget is HVAC. And I brought this to attention
I'm
before.
glad you brought that up. Did we just go with one vendor, or did we outsource to several different people?
In regards to,
The HVACs? Are we just using one particular company, or are we getting, and the reason why I'm asking that, can we use like our local Jeremy Hayes, David Dupuy AC, Jeremy?
I'm sure you can, however, within doing that, you need to make sure that the Southwest, which I've checked, and they give market prices. However, when I pick up the phone, as in this instance right here, when I have one HVAC technician on staff right now, one, to cover the parish in 115-degree heat. So when I pick up the phone, Southwest will have a technician on site that day to be able to, in fact, they were going back to Lafayette to come back to change out that unit today if I'd have told them to do it. If we could get that kind of service from your smaller independents, I have no problem with it. However, the people will have to understand, in the event we start doing that and the new vendors cannot service as the facilities are used to being serviced, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast, and that's just the way it would be.
Well, we don't know unless we try, you know, just in that case. I was just trying to figure out if we were just using one particular vendor, which we are, and just to see, because, again, I don't say anything unless somebody pops it on me. And somebody did. I said, well, I don't know. I said, I'm pretty sure it's just Southwest that we're using, but I said, I wouldn't have a problem using the local vendors, but like you said, dependability. If they're dependent, and I know a couple of them that probably are very dependent, but maybe some of them aren't. So we'd have to get a contract with them and maybe do that way, you know? Make sure we cover ourselves.
I think that we put them on the vendor list, and then when something comes up, let them all bid on it.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Foti, with due respect, a lot of these things, I'm not picking up the phone to get prices. And
Right.
I got a unit that's down, I got a classroom with kids in it. I do not have the availability of time to go out and get 3 bids and come in with the lowest vendor and.
But what I'm saying is,
Unless that's the direction y'all want to go.
what I'm saying is, if they're on the vendor list, you have more than one person to call. In case they can't make it for a few hours or a day or two, you have other vendors you can call. That's what I'm saying.
Right now, it's pretty much a monopoly. And I think we need to expand out a little bit. And, you know, and listen, they might not even want to do it. You know, we might not get any response to it, but at least maybe make an effort to.
With the larger job that we have now, that we do bid out, we have something at the Head Start program. We're looking to change out 5 units. Well, we're going out on the open market to Southwest as one of the vendors, to M&H and getting broad bands of bids coming in, going out to the lowest bidder.
That's true, we have a right there.
So in those areas in which time is available, however, whatever direction y'all want to go, I don't have a problem with it.
Mr. Fusilier.
The reason why we're going with Southwest is if he calls and says, well, you have a school in a certain place, they can pull up diagrams of everything. The electrical, the vent, where the vents go, they have all that on record. That's why we're using them.
I guess. So,
Yeah, well, everything's on record.
I'm gonna keep my comment to myself.
Yeah.
Right, Richard?
But when you have to
I
hurry up,
said that because I do that.
Yes, Ms. Vitale.
We probably can't find people because of the pay. We only, Ms. P said we only have one air conditioning guy. Maybe if we go up on the pay, we won't have to outsource it to somebody else. And that could save us a whole lot of money.
Right now,
We
society.
did that, we tried that already.
Yeah, society as a whole doesn't want to.
outside, we can't compete with outside.
I believe we give them $1,000 extra, then take for lights and.
Yeah.
But if we look to
We
see
tried
how-
several things. You know, they paid a lot extra than electric. I already know that. I'm the one that proposed this.
What?
The air conditioning guy.
You already tried that.
We tried a few things. We even maybe need to
How much
give, we
more
need
did
to
you-
probably give the supervisor or whoever doing the interview a little more, leeway to where he can negotiate some of the pay.
That's true.
Because honestly, they'll probably quit in the summer.
Okay, we have a motion.
Which
Motion by
one?
Mr. Cochi, second by Mr. Abear. Let's go ahead and vote. Motion passed. Motion to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Already go on to the next. All right, we're ready. Second, please come to order. Credit with the few leaders in the prayer pledge.
Dear Lord, guide us today as we make decisions that will affect our students and staff. Let us work together for the betterment of our system and all involved in it. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Any announcements, acclamations?
Yes, Mr. President, I have our Southern Scripts Employee of the Month. Employees of the Month this month, I'd like to formally recognize these two ladies for doing such an outstanding job. As you know, we have a vast amount of property here as well as at the central office here. And these two ladies have taken on the task of mowing the lawn and weeding. And when I tell you they've taken on a team effort, they make every effort to either they're on the zero turn or they're weeding, and they alternate between those two tasks. And I mean, they've done such a tremendous job. And I just appreciate the hard work that they've done, and never complaining about doing the job, but just have done a phenomenal job with the keeping up the properties here as well as at the central office. So Ms. Roxanne Howard and Ms. Callie Delcom, thank you for the hard work and the dedication that you've shown.
All right, Southern Scripts Employee of the Month.
That's who they were.
Oh,
They were the employee of the month, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I also have a significant recognition for our IT Jumpstart internship program. We have several students who are part of our technology Jumpstart program, and I'll allow Ms. Christine Foster to go ahead and recognize those students right now.
So this summer, we had our, another round of our IT Jumpstart. It is no cost to the district. It's a grant that comes through the state, and we would like to recognize our group of children. They were outstanding. Over the last few years, I have seen different kids and groups of children come through, and by far, this group, you guys, you knocked it out of the park. You guys were like little sponges, and everything we threw at these students, they just went out of the way. They even took a broken Chromebook that we had that was literally in two different pieces. They called it Frankenstein, and they got that going. So we have a little presentation we're going to show you real quick, and then we have some certifications to give them.
The St. Martin Parish IT Department has secured the funding of a phenomenal program at no cost to the district. The Jumpstart IT Internship Program, or the JIIP, was created to arm our future IT gurus with the tools necessary to ensure their success in the ever-changing technology-filled world. By giving them the foundation needed to earn their computing technology industry-based certification, they can confidently expect to be equipped to compete competitively in many areas of the tech world. Check out all this cool swag from the IT department that was supplied through this grant. Hey, business and STEM teachers, want to give your students the opportunity to participate? Make sure that they get their Adobe certification or their micro credentials for enterprise. Check out these testimonials from a few participants and even one of our parents.
I was so grateful to have this opportunity that allowed me to learn many new type of things. Going into this, I was not expecting to learn as many things as I did. The simulations were very challenging and we had a lot of fun competing against one another. I also learned how to fix and update computers. This experience definitely allowed me to gain some new information that I'm going to use in the future. Being the only girl in the program made me wish that more people knew about the IT summer internship. I hope in the future, more girls will take this opportunity and join the program.
I didn't even know the internship was so happening at the time. I was pleasantly surprised by the call, but I knew I had to take it. I wanted to try the internship out. I heard about get CompTIA certified. Comes with a lot of good benefits. And when I got there, I didn't entirely know what to expect. We studied the CompTIA material, and through that, I learned customer service skills, how to present myself at a job. I learned computers from the ground up. I learned about storage technologies and computers and specifics for all sorts of computer parts and even histories of how some computer companies and how some software came to be. And it was just real fun. I enjoyed it. The people there were absolutely incredible. They're all nice. They also had us do assignments on videos about tech that was coming up, and they had some really interesting TED Talks about AI technology that I enjoyed. I would definitely encourage other kids to do these internships after all of the studying. They had us doing computer cleaning and computer maintenance on the Chromebooks and the school computers. They taught us about technologies and some of the technologies they used at the schools all over the place. They took us on a tour of the server room, which was incredible. And the wires were incredibly organized. They had all the cables going into their exact spots, and there was no clutter. It was really well done. He was fun. He explained what all it did, and he even mentioned some of the issues that they had with them and how he fixed them, which I found really nice. I hope to finish studying the CompTIA textbook that I received and take the test and get certified.
I was so appreciative of this IT internship program that my son attended. He had so much hands-on learning and experience that he definitely couldn't have done this without the program. And the gifts he received as part of the program were so beneficial and spot on for what he needed to use to continue his learning, that it was very much appreciated by both of us. In fact, my son felt that this was such a fantastic opportunity, he actually turned down a higher paying job so that he could have this internship opportunity to learn new skills and gain experience for his certification. It was fun to watch him wake up every day with so much excitement to learn new things, and to listen to him chatter about all the things he learned all the way home. It really made a big difference in his life this summer, and I'll be forever grateful for the opportunity that he was given.
Our goal today is to promote the awareness of the Jumpstart IT Internship Program, or the JIIP. Make sure you know all about it, because you're not going to want to miss it next summer.
So we talk about growing our own, so we're trying to grow our own IT also. I'd like to call up Ms. Courtney Underwood. Can you join Mr. Rose to present our code?
First, certificate goes to Addie Bergeron.
Mr. Brooks, on the corner. Thank you.
Next, we have Layla Lee. Next, we have Tajay Ledette. Next we have Dakota Rapidchuk. Donovan Abear.
Thank you, and hopefully we have even more next year.
Mr. President, we also have a 2023 Slimco Scholarship Award winners, Trayshawn Brown from St. Martinville Senior High School, as well as Kristen Briggs from Cecilia High School. Each student received $2,000 from Slimco. Okay, several weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, Dr. Dalcourt and I were emailed by the parent company of the Pilot gas station, I guess in conjunction with the repairs that they were doing or the upgrades that they were doing at the Pilot gas station. They emailed us in reference to applying for a grant in reference to the upgrades and if we were in close proximity to the local gas station. So I took it upon myself to write the grant, hoping that we would get it. And a week later, I was emailing and we were awarded $10,000 from the Pilot Gas Station Corporation. So that check is in the mail. It's on its way here. So that money is going to be used. I'm going to evenly divide it among the schools that we have, and they can use it for PBIS incentives or something else. So, but I mean, it was an easy thing to do, and it's an easy $10,000. It didn't cost anything, just writing about the district and what that money can be used and how it can be used to benefit the district. So kudos to Pilot for that. So
Thank you.
as you're aware, at this time, the test scores were publicly released across the state on this morning. I want to briefly go over the preliminary test scores. We do not have a final school performance score, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of where our test scores are now. You do not have this in your packet because, again, we just received the main parts of the scores today. I will provide you with a copy, and I'll also provide Mr. Clay with a copy as well, too. If you go to the first slide, Miss Wendy, yeah. An overall summary of the results for the second consecutive year, students in St. Martin Parish progressed on the LEAP state assessments that measure proficiency in English language arts, math, science, and social studies for grades 3 through 12. All subjects in all subject areas and grade levels, St. Martin Parish grew 2% in mastery and above. So those students who tested across the district grew 2% in mastery and above, while Louisiana as a state, their average growth was 2%. So we matched the state's growth. St. Martin Parish Schools' latest test results show a 2-point jump in the percentage of students considered proficient and matches the average growth for the state for all subject areas. If you go on to the next slide, so ELA, all grade levels combined, we grew by 4% in mastery and above, while as a whole, the state grew only 1%. Math, all grade levels combined, we grew by 3%, while the state as an average grew only 2%. Now, these numbers are not leaping out at you. We have a tremendous amount of work to do. You've seen some later slides when we compare ourselves to the neighboring districts. We have a lot of work to do. I was talking to several board members before the meetings and expressing, the concern or the urgency that we have in meeting and beating and outperforming our neighboring districts. You can go into the next slide, Ms. Wendy. Science, St. Martin Parish grew 2% in mastery and above, while the state on average grew 1%. Social studies, which is again a big area of concern, we grew 2% in mastery and above, while Louisiana as an average didn't grow at all. You can go on to the next one. If you look at this slide here, it talks about our ELA overall summary results. And as I mentioned before, Mastery Plus change, it's a 2% change above what we were in 2022 compared to the other parishes that are around us. But if you take a closer look at the 2023 Mastery grades 3 to 8, you'll notice that the percent of Mastery above in these other neighboring parishes is significantly higher than it is in St. Martin Parish. We're at 25 for here, and you'll see that neighboring parishes, the state average right here is 32%, but look at the neighboring parishes. So there's some work that needs to be done. And again, that's in that area there. Go to the next slide, Ms. White. ELA, Mastery Plus, 4% change in grades 3 to 8 in English 1 and 2. Again, if you take a look at just the 23% Mastery Plus for grades 3 to 8, the number, 37%, it's not leaping out at you, but look at, and I hate to call out names, but look at Vermillion at 56%. Look at Lafayette Parish at 50%. There's some work that we need to do in order to raise the percentage of kids that are scoring at Mastery and above. Next slide. Math summary at 26% for grades 3 to 8. So that's compared to the only district that we're above right here is St. Major, which is at 24%. So total for grades 3 to 8 in math and algebra 1 and in geometry, yes, we're at 3% Mastery Plus change. But when you look at it, when you start to break down the pie, you start to see that the growth is not that significant. It's not leaping out at you. So. Science summary, 2% Mastery Plus change in grades 3 to 8 in biology. But again, if you look at 23% Mastery Plus for grades 3 to 8, we're at 21% Mastery and above. Again, the only parish that we're above is St. Landry. Every other parish, we're below. So
there's still an increase because last year.
Still an increase,
Last year we weren't at 10%.
Correct, still an increase. If you look at social studies, which is an area of concern, and the state superintendent mentioned this on the call this morning, it's an area of concern statewide. There was a 2% Mastery Plus change for us in grades 3 to 8, as well as U.S. history. There is some new guidance that's coming out with the social studies curriculum, so hopefully next year we will see a change. But St. Martin Parish, 3 to 8, 17% Mastery Plus. Again, that's an increase of 2 plus Mastery Plus 2, but again, that's still not where we want to be. So as a whole, principals as well as teachers know that we have a lot of work to do. Over the past few days, we had data fest that we had for 2 days where schools were able to analyze their data and take a look at their data, and they're going to use the data to drive what's going to happen in the classroom instead of playing a hit or miss game or guessing at what needs to be taught and where students are strong and where students are weak. So hopefully with those changes and those professional development sessions, we'll be able to see an increase in our scores for next year. I think there should be maybe, is there one more slide?
No, that's it.
No, that's it.
Watch.
Again, I'm sorry. Again, as soon as we get more detailed information in reference to our school performance score, I will provide that information to you. I don't anticipate a drop in our school performance score. I think that we're probably going to stay where we are. But again, that's still work that needs to be done. So that's it, Mr. President.
All right. Any additions or deletions to the agenda items?
I do have, just for discussion, St. Martin Parish Health Center roof project.
That would be where new business?
Let's add it a new business for 5G.
All right. Any items to be removed from the consent agenda to be discussed? Any items to be removed from consent agenda to be discussed? If not, I will accept motion to accept the consent agenda.
Motion to accept.
Abraham, you have a second? Second by Mr. Clay.
Mr. Cote, you're gonna need a motion to add that agenda item as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A motion to add that.
A motion by Mr. Abear to add the agenda item, second by Mr. Clay, all in favor?
The St. Martin Parish Health Center.
5G.
Is that the one in St. Martin? Yeah.
All right, let's vote. All right, motion passes. All right, back to the consent agenda. Any items to be removed from consent agenda to be discussed? If not, I'll accept the motion.
Motion.
First by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Clay. Let's vote. Motion passes. All right. Item 4, Finance Committee recommendations.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Stelling. Any discussion? Let's vote. Motion passes. Item 5, new business. Public hearing, open. For budget. For budget? Is that for budget? Any discussion? Motion to accept. Moved by Mr. Abear, second by Mr. Clay. The vote. All right, motion passes. All right, second, consider and approve Finance Committee recommendation for adoption of a budget for general and special revenue funds for the year ending June 30th. Bruce Hall?
I think that's what y'all were it's just the formal, you have to do a public hearing and then the actual
Okay, so that's-
adoption of the
that was in
budget.
there?
Yes.
Okay. Item C, consider and approve Head Start Policy Council recommendations, updated eligibility, selection criteria, new hire recommendation. Ms. Halsey?
So each year we have to do eligibility selection criteria. We made a couple of updates to it. Policy Council approved it. And then we're in the hiring process like everybody else. We have a list of new hires for consideration.
All right. Motion to accept? Motion by Mr. Poche, second by Ms. Vital. Vote. All right, motion passes. Item D, consider and approve the lease property located on Red Barn Road. Mr. Darasep?
Yes, the board has given us a task for us to look into the possibility of leasing the project and getting a fair market value. And I spoke to Mr. Mark Boyer, he might have did some research on that. I'll yield to you.
Yeah, I just don't have any idea on value. Can't really find out that kind of information of trying to lease out this type of piece of property. I spoke to Mr. Aber about it as well. But we are gonna need to advertise our you know,
What is up there on Red Barn?
Red Barn.
School?
I don't know.
It's right next to the Red Barn,
Oh,
where the dance studio
Where the
is.
dance studio is.
We have that piece of property.
okay.
If you look at the dance studio, we have that piece of property.
But
How
the,
big the property is?
Probably 2 acres.
But,
2 acres?
oh, maybe a couple of lots, huh?
Yeah, that's all, hold on.
I think it's 2 lots.
Anyway, it appraised at 50,000.
Is that appraised at 50,000? And then 2 acres on the main highway, it's something wrong.
That's a 1.5 acre.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little bit. I thought it was close to 2.
if the board would give us approval to post it for advertising to see who would be interested in leasing it. I know we know one person available that wants to lease it. If we could get approval to post it.
Yeah, matter of fact, Ms. Cricket,
what we would
Ms.
need.
Doman, she's here.
My name is Victoria Domingue. I am one of the co-owners of Liz Strong Finance Studio, and I wanted to come and introduce myself. We frequently got requests for expanding class times and getting more advanced training and equipment. And it's really hard to offer that with the building space we have. So we were hoping to talk to you about possibly the option of buying it if possible. We understood from the July meeting that you may want to put an access road on that, and that would be beneficial for everyone as far as we're concerned. So if that is a thing that we could work out, that would be incredible. We'd like to continue serving the community and offer expanded services and classes. We've done so in other dance schools. We've made sure that high schools could bring in their dance teams or color guards and use the studio space for practice space. So that could even be an option as well. The problem is we would like to build another building on that piece of property. And that requires special floor plans, scrub floors, mirrored walls, vaulted ceilings, and a lot of other considerations. So I just wanted to come and present that to you, and ask for your consideration.
I'd like to make, the reason why we're probably not considering selling it because we actually paid the property 80 to 89, it was in the 80,000 range. And the reason why the market value was up at the time was before we purchased some lots along Red Barn Road, which brought the value down in that area is what happened. And that's why it's probably appraised at 50,000 now. So me personally, I wouldn't want to see the board lose money on that. But we are open to the option of, again, leasing, just so it depends on what type of building you'd want to put up on it, you know, in that manner, because we just don't know what's going to happen in the future as far as that goes. Because, like you said, we would like to have that access road just in case, you know, how the main road floods over there. It would be a good access. If ever we have to take our buses and route them on the Red Barn Road, and we keep them off the main highway that way and just keep on going back between junior high, primary, Tisch on that back area. So,
Any other discussion?
Then, she could consider making an offer.
you don't have to give 50, you can.
Get more.
Yes, sir, we would absolutely be willing to negotiate if that would be a possibility.
Never thought that. Yeah, that's true.
Want to have staff,
Yeah.
negotiate and get back to the
Yeah,
board?
yeah. That sounds good.
Motion to table till next month?
Yes. Have staff.
Okay, we have a motion. Moved by Mr. Clay, second by Mr. Hebert.
Yes.
We'll call till the next meeting. All in favor? All right, item E, we need to hold on.
Okay, that's a property on at 1046 Main Highway in Ornerville. The property was appraised, it's 1.95 acre, and it came in at 79,000. The Acadiana Native Plant people, I think Ms. Griffin is here, I'm not sure.
Not sure, but that's the property next to the bank in Henderson.
No, this is in Ornerville.
It's in Ornerville.
That's one next to the building precinct.
And they are interested in purchasing the property also. But they're already leasing from us. They're leasing the property. It's the Acadiana Native Plant. They're already leasing the property. But they are interested in purchasing.
The one thing that they need to watch is that if they're gonna want to purchase and we allow to advertise the purchase.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, somebody else may
That's right.
outbid them.
That's right. So
And that's gonna be,
that's a catch-22 if
Yeah,
they
you might
want
wanna
to
look at
get
it.
involved like that.
that's gonna be something that they'll have to consider because,
Right.
and from what I don't know if they want to pay that.
Right. I went to the clerk of court's office this morning to try to get a plat, but the property has never been surveyed. So there's no plat, it's just a top of ground.
Oh, Mr. Knott, I'm sure.
Any discussion? Any more discussion?
I believe that.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll
Set
push,
it up there, right?
what y'all want me to do is get back with Ms. Griffin and explain to her that,
Yeah.
she's risking the chance of not even being able to lease it if we sell it outright and she doesn't get the right to bid.
And that's just.
That's just the nature of the beast.
So again, postpone till next meeting?
Yes, have staff.
So, you want me to talk to her?
Yes, please.
All right.
I believe we can sell the property if it's more than, if you have more than 2 bids, I mean, if you have more than 2 appraisers,
If they still risk the chance that they.
but you don't have to bid as long as they give more than is appraised for.
Mr. Boyd is for-
You gotta bid out, you gotta put it out, advertise it.
Better read it again.
We have a motion to accept.
Otherwise,
Motion by Mr. Hebert, second by Mr. Clay. Vote. All right, next item, consider citizens' request to appear before the board. We have a citizen that wants to appear before the board.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Miss Candace Meyer would like to speak before the board in reference to her concerns with the uniform policy.
All right. Ms. Margaret? Ms. Margaret, you'll have Bobby.
I got some papers too.
All right.
Good morning.
We agree. Go ahead.
Whenever y'all ready.
Yeah, you may go ahead.
Hi, I'm Candace Mayer. Thank y'all for taking the time to listen to me. I'm a mother of two boys that go to school in St. Martin Parish. My oldest is in 7th grade at Burbridge Junior High. I'd like to present on why students in the parish should be allowed to wear shorts, 6th grade and up. I've gathered a lot of data to help, listen, provide stats and all that. Reason number one, temperatures in South Louisiana have been rising since the start of public school uniforms. There's no indication that they're getting cooler. They're rising rapidly. Number two, uniform pant prices compared to shorts are 5 times greater. We went shopping this year. I'm not sure if y'all are aware, but since COVID, uniforms are in very short supply. The older the kids are getting, the less places there are to find pants. Pants were $50, shorts were $10. So this is not, helpful for parents at home. It would be nice for us to have the option, for people, especially people who are struggling. 3, there's no research that I could find that suggests wearing shorts in school limits or impacts the students' academics in any way. When questioning teachers in the district, there was no valid explanation other than just it's the way it's always been. I've asked many people, not one person could give me a reason as to why they cannot wear shorts. Y'all please excuse my voice too. Woke up with my voice. Number 4, at my son's school, Burbridge Junior High, last year, his first year attending, they did not have PE uniforms. They had to wear their athletic wear underneath their school uniform before and after PE. Can cause, that was their option if they want to do it. Some kids did do it. I found out that the kids had to take their uniforms off in class. That's awkward for kids, for 1. For 2, that's just not, I cannot say personally, I don't remember the reasoning as to why they couldn't use the locker room. Can be also very harmful for women, yeast infections. For young men, it can cause infertility. Number 5, another issue is skirts are allowed in all the grades. Skirts are allowed, sports are not, 6th grade and up. If the skirts are allowed with a certain set of rules, why can't shorts? Number 6, teachers are allowed to wear dresses and shorts so they can beat the heat. Students should have that option as well. Number 7, I spoke to an employee who went on a field trip and she was told that no buses have AC. Some of these kids are on the buses until 5 p.m. at night. That is unbearable. And that's, causing these kids to be exhausted after a long day. Number 8, all surrounding parishes allow the students to wear shorts. There are rules in place that are followed. I did attend some of these parishes. It was not an issue. The modernization of wearing shorts is likely because of increasing heat over the years and increasing comfortability for our students. St. Martin Parish wants to increase comfortability for our students to create a welcoming environment so these kids can be comfortable while they're learning and they're not have to focus on being hot and uncomfortable. I did start a petition to see how many people and how many parents in the area. I'm at over 1,000 people who have signed the petition and counting. A lot of the parents and a lot of the students feel the same way, that they should have the option to wear shorts. In conclusion, I believe along with at least 1,000 other people that students in St. Martin Parish should have the option to wear shorts. Many students have expressed that they are very uncomfortable in pants all day, especially when the classroom AC units cannot keep up with the heat. This would help the students have a choice while also helping parents with costs. I hope that St. Martin Parish Board takes the issue into consideration and decides what's best to do for our children. I thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Candace.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, what parish you said, the kids can wear shorts, from 6 on? Give me some name of parish.
Oh, all parishes around them, not
That's not true. That's not true.
Lafayette Parish, Vermillion Parish.
No, man.
My grandkids.
Yeah,
Lafayette
Lafayette Parish,
Keep
yes, it can. I spoke to members of the school board in Lafayette Parish, yes,
You
they
didn't
can.
talk to the right person.
Yes, I did. Member of the school board in Lafayette Parish, I spoke to teachers in Lafayette Parish. I went to Lafayette Parish. Lafayette Parish has not changed the rule. Students in 6th grade and up can wear shorts with certain rules. Yes, they can.
Now, you say teachers wear shorts.
Yes, they do. I have seen it with my own
Teachers
eyes.
wear shorts, it's put on.
I've seen dresses, very short dresses. I've seen shorts. Yes, I have.
I've never seen it. I've
You
been
hit
here 32 years, I've never seen a teacher wear a short
You
yet.
hit something very good right here, very short. You said some teachers.
And that's why there are rules in place in other parishes. And honestly, if you go look at uniform shorts, there are no short uniform shorts. All the shorts are like Bermuda shorts.
As those little girls get older. you're not
Then there's
supposed to be-
rules, but there's also
That gives the teacher-
guidelines.
And that's an extra policing that we're telling our staff to do, and they're spending more time on
Other
that.
parishes do it.
Well, we have a policy in place.
And what's the reasoning? Other than kneecaps can't show?
Policy was in place before I was on the board.
Policy has been in
I
place,
still approve it.
policy has been in place since I was a child. It makes no sense. There's no reasoning. I have not been given one good reason as to why students cannot wear shorts.
Mr.
No.
May I be recognized?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not neither to say I'm for or against. I'm putting out information. You're saying there's no reasoning. I will tell you, I've been here quite some time. So as a high school teacher, when I taught, students could wear shorts. And the reason the board did away with it was because we were losing so much instructional time in the mornings because the shorts had gotten so out of hand that I could remember our assistant principal's name at the time, and I'm showing my age, was Ms. Hager, Ms. Valerie Hager, former superintendent. And every morning, she had to go and measure the shorts because they had gotten to the point to where they were really, really too short. So to say that there's no reasoning, I'm just telling you
Was that with
that was.
uniforms or was that before?
Before uniforms were in place.
That was before uniforms were in place?
Whether it's before or
It
after,
does
I'm telling
matter.
you why.
Yeah, no,
Yes, it
I
does.
understand.
What, no, let me just finish.
Yeah, no, go on. I was just.
It was before uniforms, but I will tell you, I took my niece shopping this past weekend, and she does go to middle school in Lafayette Parish. She will not wear shorts, and she did tell me that it is a huge issue at her school.
Again, as we
But
were shopping,
again,
yeah, as
I'm
we were
just-
shopping,
I
all
want
the
you to be
shorts.
well-informed. I want my board to be well-informed
Correct.
on both sides.
Okay, any more discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
there are a number of administrators who are here. And if they're inclined to speak, I'd like for them to speak, again. I could not give an explanation at the time when I spoke to Ms. Meyer. I told her, I said, you're more than welcome to come before the board and speak and express your concerns about it. But I, as a former principal, know the issues that would occur because of, regardless of whether you have rules in place or not, it's still gonna be something else that an administrator would have to deal with on top of the other things that they have to deal with, that administrators 15, 20 years ago didn't have to deal with.
Plus,
So,
when I went to school, we didn't have air conditioning. Well, all our schools are air conditioned right now. That's right.
Can I ask, was your heat index 114 to 118 degrees when you were in school? Because I have data on here that proves that that's not true.
Okay, any administrators would like to chime in?
115 degrees.
I mean, I'm speaking about Parish High School, I can tell you this, the majority of the students that attend Parish High School, they wear sweatshirts and jackets throughout the summer.
Yeah, and that doesn't.
But it's because at Parish High School, there are certain classrooms that is like a meat locker, as in it is freezing. They try to bring blankets to school because they are so cold. So if they would wear shorts.
And then I'm really happy they have that. My son's school and other schools do not have that because
Right.
my son's school, the AC is constantly breaking and they're sweating.
Well, I
Yeah.
can only speak for Parish High.
Yeah.
And like I said, most of them, they wear long sleeve jackets, sweatshirts. They try to bring blankets, but we do not allow that. They can't do it.
All right, we need to move on. Okay, staff might look into it later on. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, board members request none?
No.
No.
The
The
health
what?
section.
We have the health center.
The
We have
roof.
roofing.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Health center.
I'm sorry.
The
Roof discussion for the health center.
Yeah, the roof at the health center is in need of repair, but of concern to us is the issue of school opening, that roof being repaired at that same time, and the amount of dust that we believe would be, I guess, poured into the building at the time of the repair. So Mr.
Right.
Darcel had a solution.
All right.
Okay, what it is, we have a lady, some of the personnel have issues, health issues over there. So starting the roof right now, and leaving them in that building would be hazardous to that health, we feel. So what we've done today, myself and Ms. Adrian, we went out and we went to St. Martin Senior High and we found ample room for us to be able to relocate the health center into that room. And we're in the process of right now is buying a few petitions to do whatever it takes to make it work. So our project, Mr. Delphine, we can move on with the project. Give us a week, we can push it back maybe a couple of weeks until the equipment comes in and then we can move on.
Well, that's a flat roof.
And then we can continue.
That's a shingle roof.
All right?
Yeah, any more discussion? We need to approve it?
And we won't be coming back to somebody else.
I don't know if you need to approve it, it was just to make you aware of the reasoning.
Just an aware?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discussion. All right, entertain a motion to go into executive session at this time. You have Mr. Bear, second by Mr. Clay. Executive session. on the agenda is to vote on, let's see, discussion of intake, midstream, and school board property. Motion by Mr. Clay, second by Mr. Abear, let's vote. Motion passes. Next item is to confirm the motion for the zone changes. Mr. Blanchard.
Yes, Mr. Board President. We're recommending the board make the following motion. Motion to clarify that on May 11th, 2023, the school board voted to authorize the superintendent and legal counsel to enter into a settlement of student attendance zone lines for the St. Martinville and Parks area for grades pre-K to 8th grade. The proposed maps also make zone modifications to the southern portion of the Brobridge attendance zone for grades pre-K to 8th grade, but there are no students in that area. The elementary school map labeled ES 5-11 and the middle school map labeled MS 5-11 accurately reflects the proposed attendance zone modifications. Those maps shall be attached to the minutes of this meeting. Further, the school board confirms that it has authorized the superintendent and legal counsel to enter into a consent order to modify the attendance zones as reflected in these maps.
Move to accept.
Motion to accept.
I'd like to accept the motion.
Go ahead.
That, oh, no, better not.
Second by Mr. Clay, let's vote.
Oh, before you vote, Mr. President, Ms. Wendy, can we put the elementary school map on display on the computer screens for the benefit of the members of the public? Just so I want to make sure that these maps were the maps that came out of the May 11th meeting from the school board. And Ms. Wendy, can you zoom in at the bottom of the blue area under Brobridge? Scroll down just a little bit more, please. So for the benefit of the members of the public, the magenta lines that you see on this map are the board's current attendance zone lines. On the far left of the map, on the edge of the parish, where the yellow color is there under the above that magenta line, that's all swampland. There are no people, students who live in there. As far as we're aware, there are actually only 7 people total who live in there, so no students are going to be affected. Moving to the right, the area along Prairie Highway that's now yellow. Those students currently attend the Parks the Parks Middle and Parks Primary. And then just south of the magenta line with the sort of the peach color south of that magenta line, those students currently attend St. Martinville Primary as well as Early Learning Center. These attendance zone changes will benefit the board from a demographic standpoint for the desegregation case. The private plaintiffs and the United States of America have already agreed to these maps, and the motion that's being made tonight is simply clarifying that this was the board's intent from the May 11th meeting. And Ms. Wendy, could you also just pull up the MS 511 map, please, for the benefit of the public? So the lines on this map, as the public will see, are the zones are, the color has changed because these are referencing the middle schools rather than the elementary schools. But the attendance zone modifications are identical to the elementary school modifications. This is just contained on a separate map because they are different schools. Thank you, Ms. Wendy, and thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. Now we can vote?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's vote. Motion passed. Motion adjourned. Second. All in favor? Aye. Adjourned.
Good.